Hi friends and family, I just want to thank you for all your prayers. They're being heard. I want to give you a brief synopsis of what's happened. 3 years ago, I met a flight attendant down here named Michelle. She lives in Jacksonville. She's also a nurse, and we became fast friends. We didn't see each other very often because of our distance, but we always kept in touch. Anyway, fast forward in September, United mandated we get the vaccine, and I got it reluctantly at the very last minute. And October, I started getting nosebleeds for about 3 weeks when I would go run. It was really severe, like nothing I've ever had before, but they eventually faded away. And then in January, I was skiing, and I got carpal tunnel in both my hands, carpal tunnel syndrome. I had it before, and my right hand had the surgery, and there was relief, but now it had come back with a vengeance in both hands. Looking back now, I also remember I was getting diarrhea all the time, and my urine was frothy, like bubbly, almost like there was soap in the water. Anyway, fast forward, I had a trip to India in March. I had some swelling in my feet because I noticed my shoes didn't fit me right, but I just attributed it to the long flight. But then as I noticed, my feet were seeming to be swollen a lot, and come the summertime, it was rarely going down, and then I was flying these long flights, and they were not going down overnight at all. But regardless, I just attributed it to my flying and my flight schedule. So I had a girls' weekend last weekend, and for a crazy coincidence, my girlfriend Michelle called me to talk to me about something completely different. Again, she's the nurse, and we were catching up. And just before she hung up, I said, I got swelling in my legs. You're a nurse. What do you think about that? She's like, hey, send me a picture. I sent her a picture. She said, girl, you need to get to a doctor. I said, well, I actually have an appointment scheduled for in a couple weeks. She's like, no, you need to see one earlier. So I called my doctor on Friday morning last week, and I moved up my appointment. In the meantime, she lives in Jacksonville here, and went for a walk on the beach on Friday morning, and happened to run into a cardiologist at the Mayo Clinic. And as they were talking, and she started walking away, she's like, hey, did you look at my girlfriend's legs? And she started telling him about him. He looked at him, and he's like, she needs to get to an ER right away. And so she texted me that, you need to go to an ER. And again, I'm feeling fine, except I got this swelling. So I go and have a fun time, my girls' weekend, except Friday night, we were out dancing all night. By the end of the night, my legs were swollen like somebody had inserted a air compressor and pumped them both up. My bullheaded girlfriends, who I love so much, insisted I go to the ER. I was checked out there. They said that I was fine. My kidneys, liver, everything was functioning well. My heart, that was a misdiagnosis. Regardless, Sunday night, again, my legs were still really swollen. I called the cardiologist that Michelle had run into, because he insisted that I give him a call, and I didn't want to be a bother, but I called him, and he, after describing everything to him, he said, your legs are swollen, what could it be? I have more swelling on the right side, maybe right side heart damage, possibly a heart attack in the past. So then he said, elevate your legs up, eat less salt. And I said, well, that's going to be awkward because I have carpal tunnel and I have to sit up right now as it is, so I'll be sitting like a V. And he paused and said, you have carpal tunnel? And then he said, all right, let's talk this over again. We spent 45 minutes on the phone, and he said, I want you to come into the office as soon as possible. With all the symptoms I ended up having, I was diagnosed with amyloidosis. It's a very rare but very deadly disease. In the past, this would go years undetected, and you would just die of organ failure. Fortunately, I was caught early enough, and thank God Michelle was walking on the beach that day. I can't even tell you how the miracles keep happening, and this doctor is vying for me and opening doors that I'd never been able to walk through before. As it happens, this Mayo Clinic that I'm at in Jacksonville has the only amyloidosis clinic in the country of all the Mayo clinics. It's one of the top ones in the world. And so he is going to be having me treated here. I'm in good hands, and I'm just trusting in the Lord that he's walking me through this all, and I am going to be okay. I just, again, can't thank you enough for all the prayers. They are being heard. I feel them. I feel hopeful. My doctor, I swear he's an angel. I keep wanting to go. I want to pinch you because I don't believe you're for real. But I'm in really good hands. So thank you again. And thank you for reaching out to me, all of you that have. I really appreciate it. I feel very loved and covered by all your love and your prayers. So anyway, that's all. I'm here at Mayo Clinic right now. I just had to give some more blood work. It's a beautiful day here in Florida. And be blessed, everybody. Thank you.